Welcome back, everybody. Did you miss us? I say us, but once again, I'm going at it alone. I am Villanonymous. Welcome back to Wrestle Relaunch. Spongy T still afflicted by a little bit of illness. He he's taking a John Laurinaitis today. He's not exactly having the best voice. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a recap from him on what he thought on tonight's Raw, February the 6th. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I see what they're doing. I see you, you slaptastic slap nuts. We'll get into that. We'll get there. See that? I did it just for Sponge. We'll get there. This night started off a little odd. The the intro hit. Everybody started. Everybody was up in arms. Edge and Beth Phoenix came out. Edge just having so much fun. He was taking selfies with people at ringside. He was slapping high fives. He just seemed like he was so happy to be back. Beth Phoenix, I don't know what's going on with that hairstyle of hers, but I mean, yeah. They came out and they were talking about everything all the way last year on how Edge started the Judgment Day and then it became his worst nightmare, but he started it so everybody involved would gain a higher platform, which everybody has, and Dom is still here. That was a direct quote. It was hilarious. Of course, the Judgment Day hits the ringside area. Rhea Ripley not on Raw tonight. I'm not mad at it. This night was very well done with tons and tons and tons of female talent being well utilized, and I was very happy to see that because we don't get that very much. Tony Khan. Uh, that one was for Spongy Bastard. Uh, Damian Priest came out. He got his words tied. He was in the heat of a promo. So I mean, like he recovered well. He recovered well. He's looking forward to going into the elimination chamber. He's completely looking past Angelo Dawkins. Which, come on, let's face it, Damian Priest is due for a solo push again. Um, I like what they did here tonight. So we'll get straight into that. Angelo Dawkins and Damian Priest. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. You had a lot of back and forth. Angelo Dawkins kind of showed you that he's not really anything more than a tag team wrestler, but he's got some really good time. Obviously, Damian Priest wound up going over because, like I said, Damian Priest is he's gonna get that push, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna get that push. We had Baron Corbin versus Dexter Loomis. Baron Corbin was trying to avenge last week's loss to Johnny Gargano, and wow, JBL didn't seem very happy at ringside. This match went on again. I like Baron Corbin. I like Dexter Loomis. I like the way that this had potential. Didn't quite live up to the potential. You didn't see nearly half of the things that Baron Corbin can do. You didn't see nearly half of the things that Dexter Loomis can do. It seemed like it was a bit rushed. Dexter Loomis went over, and we got a segment in the back where JBL pretty much said that he's done with Baron Corbin. He said that, quote, "You can't polish a turd. I tried," and walked away. Fatal four-way time. Looking for that last spot to see who's going to get into the Elimination Chamber. It was Carmella, Piper Niven, Michin. I'm not calling her Mia Yim anymore because what's the point? WWE is going to change their names every other day. And Candice LeRae. This was sloppy. It was everybody. They tried to showcase everybody in this match. I hate to say it, Candice LeRae really didn't look like she had her feet under her. There's a bunch of bump spots, like not taking a bump. I mean, like you don't. Not very good ring presence bumping into each other. Like it was messy. It was sloppy. Uh, Piper Niven hit a cannonball on Candice LeRae in the corner. Carmella super kicked Piper Niven out of the ring, and then Poison pinned Candice LeRae to earn her spot in the Elimination Chamber match. So that's all set now. I'll recap these things as we go along because we figured out the men's Royal Rumble. Wow. See, this is what happens when you make me do this without Sponge. Take a deep breath, compose yourself. Royal Rumble. No, I'm just kidding. The men's Elimination Chamber match is set for the United States title. We'll go over that later. The women's Elimination Chamber match for the number one contendership for Bianca Belair's Raw's women's title at WrestleMania is also set. We will go over these things as we get to them. Brock Lesnar came out, cut a promo. I like the fact that they're letting him talk. This is going to be a recurring segment here on this episode of Raw because there's a lot of good mic work going on WWE today. Like Edge and Beth Phoenix started it. Finn is always good. Damian Priest is getting better. Dominic Mysterio, he's still pushing that hard time angle. Whatever. Brock came out, cut a promo on Lashley. Says, I have a contract for a fight between me and you at Elimination Chamber. Bobby Lashley came out in a suit, trying to look all sorts of weird, but we'll get into possibly why that is. Because some other stuff happened tonight. Bobby Lashley's, oh, I'll have my manager look over it. I'll have my lawyers look over it. Like, pomp and circumstance right there from Bobby Lashley. Like, not the kind of, the almighty, the destroyer Bobby Lashley that everybody's been used to over the last couple of months. This is laid back, suit Bobby Lashley. We'll get into that. But, Brock F5'd him twice and left. So, hopefully we see that. The setup for Elimination Chamber as a pay-per-view looks like it's starting to set up really, really nicely. What the hell else? Aha! And then we had a backstage promo. That same backstage promo where you saw JBL dumping Baron Corbin, you saw MVP in the background having a nice conversation, nice, pleasant conversation with Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. I can't help but wonder if the Hurt Business is coming back, because that was one of my favorite stables. You have a lot of guys in there with a lot of talent, especially to be managed by MVP and pretty much run by Bobby Lashley. You could do a whole lot worse. That is such a good stable right there. Underutilized guys like Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin's been good in WWE for over 15 years. Which led to, of course, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander against the Alpha Academy with MVP at ringside. And this went just about how you thought it would with that last backstage segment. Shoosh. Got shooshed. Real quick. Didn't really seem like this match went on for too long. No. Cedric Alexander with the lumbar check on Chad Gable. Oh, that move hurts my spine to watch every single time. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin pick up the win. I am super good with this. I really hope that the Hurt Business is back. We had Chelsea Green in the back, still trying to bully her way around. What's the guy's name? Pierce. Alexander Pierce? I don't remember his name. Adam Pierce? Adam Pierce, probably. Don't care either way. Chelsea Green's like, oh, are you the manager? Can I speak to your manager? WWE's incorporating a Karen in a female wrestler that can actually work. I have big problems with this. She came in, you're going to give me a match, or I'm going to call your manager. Who the are you going to call that's above Adam Pearce? I don't care. I don't want to know anymore. So he goes, all right, fine. She goes out. She gets in the ring. Asuka. 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 It was only going to be one of two people, let's face it. It was either going to be Asuka or it was going to be Alexa Bliss. But I think Alexa Bliss is going to be on hiatus until at least Elimination Chamber. We don't have to see her unless she's on SmackDown being drawn into Uncle Howdy's stuff. We'll get to that on Friday. All 6 women from the Elimination Chamber match were surrounding ringside, which is a lot of fun to see. But it nothing really went well for Chelsea Green in this match. She got locked in the Kana lock, which looks like it hurts every time. That move legitimately looks like somebody's trying to rip your arms out of their sockets, like they're carving in and ripping out a wing of a Thanksgiving turkey. No, I don't ever want to be in that. And then we had the final qualifying match for the men's elimination chamber: Elias versus Montez Ford. I was excited for this because they could have gone either way with this. Elias, he has in-ring talent. He's really good on the mic. Montez Ford has deserved a solo push for a really long time. So I'm going to like to see where they go with this. I hope they're not breaking up the Street Profits, but again, I would love to see Montez Ford star and at least a mid-card solo run. Like this could be a lot of fun. Theory was at ringside. This match went back and forth. This match was a lot of fun to watch. Like you got to see 2 guys that you don't really get to see in a one-on-one match. Obviously, Montez Ford is quicker, more agile. Big giant frog splash. I love Montez Ford's frog splash. Picked up the win. After the match, sitting at the announce table, Austin Theory got absolutely blitzed by Seth Rollins, and that was a whole lot of fun to watch. But yeah, solid card so far. Like I have no problem with any of these matches. What the hell else did we have? Oh, they had a little backstage segment where they were talking to Becky about the cage match coming up. She goes, "It's fine. Let Bayley bring her friends. I may just have something up my sleeve. We'll have to see about that." And just walked off like all cryptic, like. And I was like, okay. Now, for the wrestling fan in me, I was trying to put together who could possibly come out. I'm not gonna go into the whole Sasha Banks and Naomi thing. We don't talk about that here on Wrestle Relaunch if we're not talking about New Japan and Mercedes Moné. Because those are the only times that those people are going to be brought up, unless Naomi decides to come back. Oh, I'm sorry, Trinity Fatu, by the way. Don't mean to name drop. Trinity Fatu or Mercedes Moné, whichever one. If any of them decides to make a comeback, I don't see it happening because they. Never mind. Won't get into it. Cody Rhodes came out, started to cut a promo. Sounded pretty much like Sponge. No voice, not too well, but came out, cut a really nice promo, and went to leave. And then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul. You know where I'm going. Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes cut probably the greatest promo that I've seen between a competitor and a non-competitor in a very long time. a very long time. It got personal, it got emotional, it went deep. The cuts were deep. This was a straight shoot promo. Nobody scripted this for them, nobody wrote this for them. They fired from the hip and absolutely killed it. This promo was so fire that I'm hoping once everybody finishes watching this video that they will go and watch the promo between Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman. It was that fucking good. And then it was time for the steel cage. Becky and Bayley. This match quickly got out of control. There it was a typical Becky and Bayley match. It was a lot of fun to watch. Clearly back and forth. These two have carried the Raw Women's Division and the SmackDown's Women's Division for a very long time. Even with Bayley's absence, they are so good. They are so good. You want to watch this match over and over and over again. There was a scary spot towards the top, towards the end of this match. They were both on the top of the cage, and Becky had Bayley in the disarmor, and Bayley fell back into the ring, hit the cage, hit a rope. Like it was scary. Like I gotta see the fall again because like it's not like you can brace for that fall. Like if you fall out of control from the top of something, you just gotta hope you land right. It didn't seem like Bayley was too beat up, so hopefully she's doing well and all right. I would hate to see Bayley back out with an injury again because she would immediately get buried in the women's division and turn into the next, I don't know, Molly Holly. So Becky's up at the top. Io Sky tried climbing up to the side. Becky was throwing punches. They fell back into the ring. Dakota Kai threw in one of her crutches, and Io Sky started kind of going to town on Becky, but then I need Sponge here for this. He would have just done it. Dang it. There she is, right in the middle of the thumbnail. Lita came out to make the save for Becky Lynch. She slammed the cage door on Bayley when she was trying to escape. She went after Dakota Sky. I did it again. Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Like this was a whole lot of fun. As soon as Bayley got slammed with the door, she turned right around and got hit with a manhandle slam. Becky Lynch picked up the 1-2-3. And this is how Raw went off the air. I have no problems with this Raw. This Raw was a whole lot of fun to watch. You got to see a whole lot of talent here that you never usually get to see, because when we're talking Monday Night Raw, we're talking terms of Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley and the Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. Like no, this was well done and put together. Angelo Dawkins and Damian Priest. You had Cody and Paul Heyman in probably the greatest promo I've seen in the last 5 or 10 years on any company. The women's fatal 4-way was good. Asuka versus Chelsea Green could have been better, but it told a story. Come on now. But everything's taking shape. Everything's taking shape for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The match card looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. I'm good with this. Damn. Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. Okay, fine. The men's elimination chamber match, let's see if I can do this off the top of my head, is Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Montez Ford, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, and Damian Priest. Hold your applause. And the women's match is... Oh, shit. Here we go. Asuka, Carmella. Oof. Nikki Cross. Yeah, I can't off the top of my head. That hurts. That hurts. Do-do-do-do-do-do. There we go. Natalia, Nikki Cross, Carmella, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, and Liv Morgan. So this pay-per-view setting up to be a whole lot of fun. I cannot wait for this. Let's bring up, what did Sponge say? Sponge. Sponge. Oh, there you go. And this is a direct quote. I will be pronouncing all of the misspelled word. I'm kidding. Open quote. Raw was overall good. Nothing lackluster. No one cares about Chris Lee Knows Best. A lot of women on the show, which is good. Cough, cough. Tony Khan, attaboy Sponge, and properly used Cody's Heyman promo. Edge and Beth Phoenix were a lot of fun to see. Kana, all I got to say about Kana. And the steel cage could have had a bit more time, but it was good. Not the best, but good. Cool seeing Lita. Raw was a solid 8. Sponge. Close quote. I gotta agree. I give this Raw at least an 8, an 8.5. I have no problems with this Raw. It was not perfect, but I have no problems with it. Because trying to put on the perfect Raw, you'll never have it. It'll never be done, but the storytelling is starting. The road to WrestleMania begins. Factions are reforming, kind of. Baron Corbin is without manager now. JBL is probably going to be looking into the next thing that he can do, and I've got no problems with any of this. So, on behalf of Wrestle Relaunch, I am Villainonymous, filling in for my absentee partner, the empty chair next to me. I'm so sad he's not here. But we will be back, hopefully tomorrow, depending on how Sponge is feeling, with the review of NXT Vengeance Day, because, boy, I enjoyed that one too. So, we'll see you there. As always, you tapped out.